before we start this video, I want to make sure I do a brief, silence for the passing of former All-Star, Pro Bowl wide receiver Demaryius Thomas. Passed away in the young age of 33, and we don't have any reports on how this death was caused, but hopefully it wasn't a violent one. So all stuff, even I don't know the guy well, but just prayers to his family and hopefully his loved ones. So that's it for now. Hopefully we do get something out of it, but that's not the major part of the video. Right now we have, of course, the cause of struggle in pro wrestling, and one of the reasons is they think wrestling sells itself. I think this is with a whole lot of indie promotions and why they have a struggle to get off the ground, or just don't have enough going for them to make sure they grow off the spot. Because attention spans are a bit, dead. Especially the struggle to growth over the young audience. You're seeing more 20 to 30 year olds coming around in your little autograph events, in your indie shows, or trying to actually get merchandising. You're not seeing young kids that back over 10 or 15 years ago, you see them wear, John Cena shirts, a few TNA shirts, probably bring an action figure or a toy belt, unless you're seeing a Make-A-Wish kid do something or them on their phones. The only times you see big events like that where people get on their phone is watching a baseball game, because baseball hasn't been America's sport for over 50, 60 years. And now people are going to be watching a lot more football, UFC, boxing, any dumb shit that's on YouTube, Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus. They don't want to see wrestling over to the attention span in wrestling matches, into the attention span of how they think a match is going to be sold over, because wrestling shows can't promote either than their wrestling. They'll be like, they have strong style, lucha libre, a British strong style. Like, that's gonna be a different. You're still fake hitting each other hard, technical wrestling. You see this from any other show. They have the best wrestling on the planet. You're like going into a car sale, even though you got the different bullshit, but you go to the more popular one because it's more accessible. You can watch it anywhere. You go over to a different show, you gotta go over to a different show, and you gotta pick up these payment plans. You gotta speak to somebody else just to make sure you know that you're getting the right deal, or making sure this is not worth your time. And that's technically to bring up what happens to the majority of wrestling shows. Most of them are the goddamn same. WWE even brings an extent to this, because back in the day they used to be the example. And now they're pressing over to most indie shit. They're more match structured than ever. They have no specific storyline structure. They're not as soap operas how they were back in the 90s. They're not that external to making stars be over the top, have their own mantra, have their own voice, or have their own character or motive. They're just there to wrestle. They're there to be the best in the wrestling world. Travel around the world, happy to be there. Their biggest thing is to be in the WWE, and I think I matched up every vignette in the world whenever it comes to building up to a main event for Raw or SmackDown, because I just do not care. I used to care. Of course, plenty of people that do these wrestling channels nowadays, they used to fluently care, just like me or any other fans. Over to the extent of now YouTube boxing. Anything with Jake Paul, Logan Paul, or any other mediocre TikToker or YouTuber is going to draw more than a WrestleMania. And over to the extent of that, Vince McMahon should be pissed off. To the extent. I don't know why he's not trying to, compete or do more wild outlandish stuff in the shows to at least try to desperately feel like he's trying to get people to actually be like, wow, this happened on Raw? Bro, I think I gotta check a couple clips out. I gotta check out the show to see what's going on. No, he's not thinking about that. He just thinks they're gonna be in a regular match before he knows his structure's obviously not a good thing, and he got released like other 50 stars out of this. Same thing with Ring of Honor and why they're dead. Their match marquee. What the hell is a pure wrestling match? And it's just a fake ass MMA match where you I think it's point based. You still win by pinfall or submission. There's a time limit, and it's technical Iron Man for over 30 minutes. I'm gonna kill myself watching. There's no external gimmicks. The only gimmick that I know of is the Briscoes, and you can put that for any other show, and they would have been a hit. You could have put that for NWA. You could have put that for WWE, WCW, TNA. Anywhere these guys could have went, they could have been a star somewhere else. Anybody else, don't try. They don't look like they have a gimmick. You have jobbers like Tony Deppen that's built like a guy that's going to make my grande mocha. You don't have guys that look like stars. And this is the lower extent of people that are doing steroids. And if that's the case, that I have guys like Chuck Taylor like telling me that I have to sell a Death Valley driver. I have to sell his Death Valley driver. People, I'm like over 240 pounds. The chances of a guy like that saying that he's going to lift me and do me a Death Valley driver or a spin out powerbomb, I'll be like pimp slapping him in the face 5 times, and he better sell that. You're not doing that if you're built like a guy that knows where the last Best Buy was built in your county. Don't do that. It's sad. And just giving this out, like, it's over to the extent of the demographic they are chasing. It's the wrong demographic, because only people that are going to patiently watch over an hour and a half or more than an hour of wrestling, and the matches are going to be over 15 to 25 minutes or 60 minutes, are old people. Children, teenagers, young adults do not have the patience to watch that. You give them a highlight tape of crossovers, they'll watch over 5 minutes, then 10 to 15. I don't mind watching that, but obviously younger people have a shorter, patience. They have shorter patience for stuff like that, people. Just knowing the audience, everybody has seen a top rope moves. Anybody can fly. Whenever a wrestler's gonna do a top rope move, he no sells it, does a super kick. He's gonna come around, do a spin heel kick. It's really going to look like the first thing these people are gonna say. Oh, these guys are Power Rangers. They're not wrestlers. It doesn't look realistic. It doesn't look like a real fight. It comes around looking like guys just pretending to do evil Power Ranger versus Power Ranger. And to the extent of the disbelief that heel and babyface does not work, it's something that mind scrabbles me, because there's no conflict at all if that's the case of why these guys are in the ring to begin with. Because you guys are obviously predetermined, if that's already explanatory, and if that's the case, it's been over 30 years, 40 or 50, that people already knew that wrestling is fake. So why externalize that there shouldn't be any conflict? It shouldn't matter if heels should exist or baby faces should exist. There should be no threat. There should be no suspense. There should feel like there's no conflict. So you're just having guys fake fighting for the extent of fake fight. You see how that makes no sense? You're just scripting your story, and you're trying to make, I don't know, you're a weirdo that does Dragon Ball fanfics, and I like Dragon Ball, but to the extent of me hearing, hey dude, you want to see my Super Saiyan 5 against Super Saiyan 4 dream fight? Shut the fuck up, Jimmy. Stop masturbating the hentai. No, you're hearing that bullshit. And it's like, oh, so what's the threat? You just like seen the guys fight? Yeah. Alright, I'm turned off. Why? I don't know, just because either way, somebody ends up happy at the end, and there's no conflict to keep me interested. It's like, it's cool, but it's not intriguing. It's not gonna test. It's not gonna get me like bested because these guys don't have any conflict of interest. They have no belief. They have no motive. If they're both good, it doesn't make it suspenseful who wins it over the end because either way they're just gonna walk by in the sunset. You see why baby faces versus baby faces and heels versus heels doesn't work. These things are externally killing the wrestling business. Just knowing that it's even worse that the fan base comes into parts of this. It's externally sickening. Like, I'm hearing death threats. I'm hearing arguments on different pages. Fanfic forums for other wrestlers. The wrestlers insulting people in social media. You're supposed to be a professional. You're traveling. Why are you calling Jimmy saying that your match that you suck because you spit on a child? That's ruining your image. That's like a Home Depot employee calling one of their customers a fag because they didn't like the shade of paint they got. You just don't say it. Why are you bothering yourself on something? Why are you putting yourself on the level of the marks you're supposed to be selling to? That makes no sense to me. Why is MJF doing that? Why is multiple wrestlers doing that? That's cutting over kayfabe. That's cutting over your own character. And that's just splitting you into the fact that you can get in the same mindset as the person that you're selling to. That makes no sense. That's not selling your promotion. That's obviously not selling you. That's just making you look more of an immature pussy. But that's the extent of these things killing the wrestling business. If you guys feel like I was a bit too lengthy, or I'm missing out some more stuff, or anybody else being a massive pussy, or even our fans being neck-bearded jack-offs that obviously have no life, please comment down in the comment section below. Thank you for coming in if you have to watch my video, and a subscription and a like would really help try to boost that so it can get a bit more well known. That's it for me. Thanks for watching.